Assalamu Alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. If you are seeing this, it's not by accident. You are chosen. This message is for you, and it is not a coincidence that you are here right now, listening to these words. There is a reason you've come across this video, and it is a sign. Perhaps you've been seeking answers. Perhaps you've been at a crossroads in life. Or maybe this is the moment Allah has willed for you to find clarity and direction. Know that this message is part of a divine plan, meant specifically for you. In Islam, the term chosen holds deep meaning. It is not about privilege or superiority, but about divine guidance. To be chosen is to be selected by Allah for a greater purpose, whether it is to guide you toward faith, help you overcome a trial, or awaken you to the truth. Just as the prophets were chosen to deliver Allah's message, so too can you be chosen to receive a special call. This video is part of that call. It is a reminder that you are never alone, and that Allah's mercy and guidance are always within reach. As you continue watching, understand that this is your moment to reflect, to listen, and to connect with a message that can transform your life. You are chosen, and it is time to embrace the path Allah has laid out for you. Before starting this video, do not forget to like this video, because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our upcoming publications on the Islamic faith. Thank you, and good video, the concept of being chosen. In Islam, the concept of being chosen is intricately connected to the divine guidance that comes directly from Allah. It is not about being privileged or superior, but rather about being selected by Allah to be guided to the truth. This is a concept deeply embedded in Islamic teachings, and it is central to understanding how believers are drawn toward the path of righteousness. The Quran teaches us that guidance is ultimately in the hands of Allah. While individuals may strive for guidance through their efforts, it is Allah who chooses who will be led to the right path. This concept of divine guidance, called Hidayah, is mentioned throughout the Quran and is essential for every Muslim's journey in life. Allah's guidance is a gift, and it is through His mercy that we are shown the way, especially in times of confusion or hardship. The idea that Allah's guidance is selective can sometimes be difficult to understand. But it is important to remember that being chosen does not mean that others are excluded from His mercy. Rather, it is a reminder of the special relationship Allah has with those He guides. The Quran makes it clear that while we are all capable of seeking the truth, it is Allah who ultimately opens our hearts to it. The role of guidance in Islam. Islam teaches that human beings are in constant need of guidance. The path to righteousness is not always clear, and without divine guidance, we would be lost. Allah Himself reminds us in the Quran that the guidance of the believer is in His hands. Indeed, this Quran guides to that which is most suitable. Surah Al-Isra, 17:9. The importance of divine guidance is reflected in the opening chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-Fatiha. When Muslims recite it in their daily prayers, they ask Allah for guidance. Guide us to the straight path. Surah Al-Fatiha, 6. This prayer shows the believer's recognition that guidance is something they seek from Allah, as they are aware that only He can lead them toward the truth. Being chosen in Islam often refers to being selected by Allah for His guidance. The Quran emphasizes that while anyone may be guided to the truth, it is a special mercy from Allah when He chooses to direct someone's heart towards the right path. Quranic references. Several verses in the Quran discuss the concept of being guided by Allah and how some individuals are chosen for His guidance. For example, in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah clearly states that guidance is reserved for those who have the sincerity to seek it. This is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those conscious of Allah. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:2. This verse indicates that those who seek guidance with sincerity and a humble heart are more likely to receive Allah's guidance. And it is through this divine guidance that they are brought closer to the truth. Similarly, in Surah Al-Imran, Allah mentions that He is the ultimate source of guidance. It is He who has sent down to you, O Muhammad, the book in truth, confirming what was before it. And He sent down the Torah and the Gospel. Surah Al-Imran 3:102. This verse highlights how Allah sent down scriptures to guide humanity. And it is from these revelations that we understand how to lead a righteous life. For believers, receiving these messages means they are being guided by Allah's wisdom and are, in essence, chosen to follow His divine will. Furthermore, the Quran mentions that those who turn to Allah with sincerity will find His guidance. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures. Their reward with their Lord will be gardens of eternity, beneath which rivers flow, wherein they will abide forever. Surah Al-Bayyinah 98:7-8. This verse reflects the promise Allah has for those who follow His guidance. Their reward is the ultimate gift, paradise. Being chosen in this sense means receiving Allah's mercy and being placed on the path toward eternal happiness. Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, as a guide. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, is the ultimate example of someone who was chosen by Allah to deliver His message. Allah chose him to be the final prophet and the one who would bring the last and complete revelation to humanity. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, was sent to guide mankind to the worship of the one true God, to teach us how to live righteous lives, and to model for us the best of character and conduct. Allah says in the Quran, "And we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except as a mercy to the worlds." Surah Al-Anbiya 21:1-7. Through his teachings, the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, guided millions of people toward Islam. His life serves as a blueprint for how we should live and interact with others. He was chosen by Allah to be the guide for all of humanity, and by following his example, we too can be guided on the right path. In Islam, being chosen is a sign of Allah's mercy. It is a reminder that divine guidance is a gift, and it is through Allah's will that we are led to the truth. The Quran and the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, show us that those who seek guidance with sincerity and humility will be guided to the straight path. This is a mercy from Allah, and we should be grateful for His guidance as it brings us closer to Him and leads us toward eternal peace and paradise. The role of destiny and divine will. In Islam, the concept of destiny, known as qadar, is deeply intertwined with the understanding that everything in life is part of Allah's plan. This divine will governs all aspects of creation, and nothing happens by chance. From the smallest details to the grandest events, everything that occurs in our lives is part of a preordained plan set by Allah, who knows the beginning and the end of all things. However, despite the predestination of events, humans are still endowed with free will, making the interplay between Allah's will and human choice an essential topic in Islamic thought. Allah's plan for every individual. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, has a plan for every single individual. From the moment we are born, we are part of a vast and intricate design that encompasses not only our lives but the entire universe. Nothing in this world occurs without Allah's will, and every event, no matter how significant or trivial it may seem, has a purpose within this plan. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, all things we created with predestination." Surah Al-Qamar 54:49. This verse emphasizes the concept of qadar, affirming that everything is created with a specific purpose and timeline. From the moment of creation, Allah has written our fate. Our lives, our successes, our failures, and our trials are all part of a plan designed for us. While we may not always understand the reasons behind every event, this belief in divine plan offers peace and reassurance, knowing that we are not alone and everything happens for a reason. Being chosen in this context means that Allah has selected us to walk a path that may be difficult at times, but ultimately, it is through these experiences that we fulfill our purpose. The trials we face, the struggles we encounter, and the lessons we learn are all intricately tied to Allah's plan for us. We are not passive participants. Rather, we are active players in the divine script, guided by His will and mercy. The concept of free will. One might wonder, if everything is part of Allah's plan, what role do we play in it? How does free will fit into a world that is governed by divine destiny? In Islam, this understanding is beautifully balanced. While everything in the universe is predestined by Allah, humans are granted the gift of a free will. We have the ability to make choices, to decide how we respond to our circumstances, and to shape our actions. However, it is crucial to understand that even though we have free will, Allah's ultimate will prevails. In Surah Al-Insan, Allah says, "We have certainly created man from a sperm drop mixture that we may try him, and we made him hearing and seeing." Surah Al-Insan 76, Sub 2. This verse signifies that Allah has given us the faculties to make choices, yet He is aware of every decision we will make. Our free will is a tool that allows us to act, but ultimately, it is Allah's will that determines the final outcome. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, explained this delicate balance between divine will and human choice. If Allah wills, then do it. If He does not, then you cannot do it. Hadith, Sahih Muslim. This hadith reflects the reality that while we may take actions and make decisions, Allah's will is what ultimately determines the results. It is not about passivity, but about the recognition that every choice we make is within Allah's vast knowledge and plan. Allah has given us the opportunity to make decisions, but the outcomes are always within His hands. Personal reflection. As you reflect on your own life, consider the moments where you may have felt as though you were chosen for something greater. Perhaps you went through a difficult time in your life, a period of hardship or trial, and during that time you felt lost or uncertain. But, in hindsight, you may see that those challenges led you to a place of growth, wisdom, or spiritual awakening. You might have wondered why you faced certain obstacles, why life seemed so difficult, or why certain opportunities appeared when they did. In Islam, we are reminded that every struggle has purpose. Allah's plan for us is filled with lessons, and even in the hardest moments, we are being guided. Your struggles, your experiences, and your victories are all part of a journey that has been carefully planned by Allah. Reflecting on this, you may come to see that you were chosen to undergo certain experiences. These experiences were not random, but were part of a divine plan that helped shape your character, strengthened your faith, and brought you closer to Allah. Even when life feels challenging, it is in those moments that we are often closest to being guided to the truth. The fact that you are hearing this message today is not a coincidence. You are being called to a deeper understanding of your life and purpose. Allah, in His wisdom, has guided you to this moment. Your life is part of a greater plan, and as you move forward, remember that you are part of something much larger than yourself. Reflect on your current situation. What is Allah teaching you through your circumstances? What steps can you take to align your will with His? The choices you make today, the actions you take, and the intentions you hold are all part of your journey to fulfill the purpose Allah has designed for you. In conclusion, the role of destiny and divine will in Islam offers profound comfort and direction. We are all part of Allah's plan, and while we are granted free will to make choices, it is through His will that everything unfolds. Being chosen is not about being special in the conventional sense, but rather about being selected by Allah for a purpose, guided by His mercy and wisdom. Whether in moments of joy or difficulty, trust that Allah's plan is perfect, and every step you take is part of His divine guidance. Embrace your journey with faith, knowing that you are never alone, and that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Signs and divine messages. In Islam, the concept of signs is fundamental to understanding how Allah communicates with His creation. Allah, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, continuously provides signs to guide believers towards the truth, to strengthen their faith, and to lead them on the straight path. These signs can take many forms: through nature, personal experiences, dreams, or even through interactions with others. It is through recognizing and reflecting on these signs that we are able to deepen our connection with Allah and align our lives with His divine will. The importance of signs in Islam. In Islam, signs are not random occurrences or mere coincidences. Rather, they are intentional messages from Allah to guide His believers, whether they are moments of reflection or tangible events in life. The Quran repeatedly mentions that Allah has placed signs in the heavens and on earth as reminders for those who reflect on His creation and seek His guidance. Allah says in the Quran, "And we have certainly created in the heavens great signs for those who believe." Surah Al-Dukhan 44:38. This verse emphasizes that signs are part of Allah's grand design, visible for those who believe and reflect. The natural world itself, from the stars in the sky to the plants and animals on earth, all hold signs of Allah's existence, power, and mercy. These signs invite believers to think deeply about the Creator and recognize His hand in the world around them. In addition to physical signs in nature, Allah also provides spiritual signs to guide individuals through their life journey. These signs are often subtle and require the believer to be attentive and reflective, seeking meaning in the events that occur around them. Recognizing signs. Recognizing divine signs requires mindfulness, patience, and the ability to reflect on one's experiences. These signs are often not as overt as one might expect, and they are frequently intertwined with the fabric of daily life. From a moment of deep reflection to a sudden burst of inspiration, or even through dreams and unexpected occurrences, Allah speaks to His believers in many ways. In Islamic tradition, there are numerous examples of how individuals have received divine signs. For instance, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, often reflected on their lives and recognized moments when their actions or experiences were guided by divine signs. The most profound sign of all is the Quran itself, which serves as a constant guide for believers. The recitation of the Quran, the clarity of its verses, and the moments when a verse strikes a chord in one's heart are all considered signs of Allah's communication. Examples of divine signs in Islamic tradition. Dreams as signs. One way Allah communicates with His creation is through dreams. In Islam, dreams are considered to be one of the ways Allah guides people or offers them insight into their lives. The Prophet Yusuf, Joseph, PBUH, for example, received divine guidance through dreams as seen in the Quran, where his dreams were signs of the future events that would unfold in his life. Joseph said, "O my father, indeed I have seen 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating to me." Surah Yusuf 12.4. This dream was not just a reflection of a personal experience, but was a divine message about his future role. Many Muslims experience dreams that they feel hold significance in guiding them towards certain decisions or warnings. And it's encouraged in Islam to reflect on dreams, especially if they come at pivotal moments in life. Moments of reflection. Allah also sends signs during moments of deep reflection. This could occur when a person is feeling lost or uncertain about a decision. It is during these times that Allah may open their heart to the right course of action. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, himself went through times of deep reflection. For example, when he was in the cave of Hira, reflecting on the state of his society, Allah sent Gabriel, to him with the first revelation, marking the beginning of his prophethood. This event became a pivotal sign that not only changed the Prophet's life, but also shaped the course of history. Personal moments of reflection can also be signs from Allah. If a person is struggling with their faith or facing a difficult situation, Moments of quiet introspection may lead to personal revelations or realizations that guide them toward the truth.